3 in the morning, January 2024. A live stream is rolling inside a West Hollywood house. David Burke is 20 years old. He has a #1 song on Spotify. On the couch beside him sits Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She is 13. She has been missing from Lake Elsinore for 2 weeks. Nobody watching the stream knows who she is. Burke leans toward someone off camera. Still laughing, he says, "Delete everything." 20 months from this moment, Celeste is dismembered and hidden in the front trunk of his Tesla. Every clue is already public. The internet just sees it too late. Celeste Rivas Hernandez grows up in Lake Elsinore, California, a small desert town east of Los Angeles. Her parents are Jesus Rivas and Mercedes Martinez. She sings, she dances. Friday is movie night with her little sisters. At 11 years old, she starts chatting on Discord with a 16-year-old boy from Houston named David. He writes music in his bedroom and posts rough demos online. In 2022, one of those demos, Romantic Homicide, goes viral on TikTok. David becomes a pop star overnight. Celeste, now 12, follows him across the internet. She turns up in his Discord server under the username Celeste. Other fans on the server already call her his girlfriend. Nobody asks how old she is. By January 2024, she is 13, he is 20, and she's sitting next to him on a live stream in a West Hollywood house. His chat is watching. They joke for hours. At 3 in the morning, he turns to his moderators and says, "Delete everything." They do. But somebody watching hits record before the VOD disappears. That clip will resurface 20 months later. By then, it will be evidence. February 14th, 2024, Valentine's Day. Celeste is gone. Mercedes Martinez walks into the Riverside County Sheriff's Office and files a missing person report. Her daughter is 13. She has never run away before. 4 days pass. Then, somewhere in Los Angeles, somebody sits down at a computer and types an email. The recipient address uses David's stage name on his record label's domain. Only a few lines. There's been talk. Please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried. The sender presses send. To this day, we don't know who they are. CNN confirms the email's authenticity in 2026, but the sender asks to stay anonymous. They say they're afraid. Within days of the email, Celeste comes home. Her mother hugs her. Whatever happened in Los Angeles, it's over. For a while. Over the next year, Celeste will go missing 2 more times. Each report lands in the same pile. And the email, the one warning somebody inside David's own label that this is a 13-year-old girl, never gets answered. By the summer of 2024, David has almost 2 million followers on Instagram. His Discord server has thousands of members. A user with the handle Celeste has been in there for 2 years. People in the chat openly call her David's girlfriend. They post emoji. They ask about the relationship. Nobody flags the math. In late June, David posts in his own server. He's frustrated. He types, "I'm in a song crisis right now." Minutes later, an anonymous follower replies with one line, "Drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez." The message is public. It stays up. David never answers it. The follower disappears back into the noise. Celeste, the real Celeste, has already gone missing for the 3rd time by now. Nobody on Discord connects the 13-year-old in police reports to the username on the server they love. And David Burke says nothing. 2 years later, LAPD detectives will pull every message from that server. That single anonymous reply will show up in the prosecution's discovery file. 40 terabytes of evidence will grow from moments exactly like this one. December 2023, 2 months before Celeste is first reported missing, a demo titled "Celeste Leaks Onto David's Discord," an unfinished track about 4 minutes long. Within hours, the file spreads through fan servers. The opening lyric goes, "Be my Valentine, I want to make Cupid suicidal." Then this, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Fans think it's poetic. Nobody knows who Celeste really is. Nobody knows yet that the real Celeste, 13 years old and about to disappear, has a tattoo on her ribcage that reads, simply, David. 2 years later, after her body is identified, her mother will show reporters a photo of that tattoo. She'll confirm the match. The leaked song, released 2 months ahead of her first disappearance, turns from curiosity into prophecy. By then, somebody on TikTok has already posted an animated music video for the track, showing a body stuffed into a car trunk. The views climb into the millions. David's team never acknowledges the song exists. They never have to. Late December 2024. David is renting a 4,000 square foot home in the Hollywood Hills. $20,000 a month. Marmont Avenue. Around his neck, he wears a small digital camera, a vintage-looking thing you can see in his selfies on X. On that camera's memory card, across late December and early January, he takes over 1,100 photographs. Many of them are of Celeste. She's 14 now. Her family has not heard from her since May. He posts one batch from the card to his X account, captioned, "Took these pics," with a selfie showing the same camera around his neck. The photos show Celeste alive, eating, smiling, inside his house. On the 2nd of January, 2025, the photos stop. The last one ever taken of Celeste alive is on that card. 10 months later, a private investigator named Steve Fisher, hired by the owner of the rental, walks through the property after LAPD finishes their search. Fisher finds the camera. He keeps the memory card. On camera, he tells reporters, "The last photos we have of Celeste are from January 2nd. What's in them, he doesn't say. He doesn't have to." April 23, 2025. According to David's charging documents, Celeste Rivas Hernandez is alive on this day. She will not be alive tomorrow. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald tells reporters Celeste arrived at David's Hollywood Hills home that evening at his invitation. She is 14. She has been away from home, off and on, for over a year. What happens next becomes the core of the indictment. Prosecutors will later say the mutilation of her body occurred on or around May 5th. That means Celeste's remains are somewhere inside the house for 12 days before anyone tries to move them. Sometime in late spring, David takes a drive to Santa Barbara County, alone, in the middle of the night. His phone goes offline for hours. His Tesla's telemetry places him on a remote stretch of road. Detectives will later flag this trip as the single most important window in their investigation. For now, the Tesla is still his car. He can still drive it home, and there's still time to do the one thing he hasn't done yet. Move the body. August 28, 2025. Bluebird Avenue, Hollywood Hills. A parking enforcement officer tickets a black Tesla Model Y for violating LA's 72-hour parking ordinance. The car hasn't moved in weeks. 5 days later, on September 3rd, a Hollywood Division tow truck hooks it up and hauls it to the city tow yard. The Tesla sits on the lot. Its frunk is still closed. On the night of September 8th, a tow yard employee walks the rows doing an end-of-day check. Somewhere between the impounded Hondas and stolen Priuses, he stops. Something smells wrong. He calls his supervisor. The supervisor calls LAPD. 2 officers arrive. They open the frunk. Inside, in 2 plastic bags, they find the dismembered remains of a teenage girl. She's been in there for weeks. Meanwhile, 900 miles away in Minneapolis, David is on stage at the Fillmore. The crowd sings every word of romantic homicide back at him. He walks off stage, signs autographs, and flies home, not knowing the police have his car yet. By morning, he finds out. By lunchtime, the tour is canceled. If you want the version of these stories that actually reads the court documents, subscribe to Digital Crime Scene. It is the only reason we make them. Back in Los Angeles, detectives are just getting started. September 18th, 2025, 10 days after the body is found. LAPD Detective Joshua Byers executes a search warrant at David's Hollywood Hills rental. Officers seize a computer, multiple electronic devices, and evidence bags whose contents remain sealed. Within a week, his label drops him. Management drops him. His publisher drops him. Collaborators pull his features from streaming. The tour is off. Then, for 7 months, nothing public happens. Behind the scenes, a Los Angeles County grand jury convenes. Detectives subpoena David's family in Texas. His mother, his father, his brother. David's family fights the subpoenas. They lose. On February 25th, 2026, sealed documents named David Burke the target of a murder investigation. On April 16th, at 5 in the afternoon, a tactical team breaches a house on Marmont Avenue. A ram pops the lock in under a second. Burke is inside. He is arrested without a struggle. Officers book him at the LAPD 77th Street station at 11:12 that night. 4 days later, Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman tells a courtroom the case file holds 40 terabytes of evidence: Livestream, email, Discord, camera, Tesla, all of it. April 22nd, 2026. The autopsy is unsealed. Cause of death: multiple penetrating injuries to the liver and chest. Sharp force trauma. Toxicology reveals benzodiazepines, methamphetamine, MDMA. She is 14 years old. Mercedes Martinez walks out of the courthouse holding a framed photo of her daughter. She thanks the LAPD and the people of Lake Elsinore. She says one sentence: "All we want is justice for Celeste." David has pleaded not guilty. His attorney is Blair Burke. The murder charge carries special circumstances: lying in wait, financial gain, witness killing. Death penalty is on the table. No trial date has been set. 40 terabytes of evidence sit already sorted. The email that once brought Celeste home was read by somebody inside David's own label in February of 2024. Nobody answered it. 18 months later, Celeste was dead. The clues were public. Dates were attached. All of them were sitting there waiting. The internet didn't fail to find them. It just found them too late.